Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and this is how EG.SUMAIL and Secret for Rev fight with Tidehunter. In this clip, SUMAIL gets ganked hard, but thanks to the armor of Iron Talon and a well-used Fairy Fire, he survives. After that, check his decision making. Elk did took a lot of damage as well, and maybe mid was using Courier or Elk got greedy, but he doesn't really regen a lot of HP. And you can see that SUMAIL pretends to go on him a lot of times, but just keeps farming. He had two choices here. Getting Gush and try to dive Elk, but more often than not it's pretty risky to get it at level 3. Not only because you can't handle that much mana usage before arcanes, but also because level 2 Anchor Smash is way better at less hitting, so if the dive actually went wrong, he would have a harder time less hitting. So instead he gets level 2 Anchor Smash and tries to bait Glimpse from Disruptor, but with no success. So he buys his boots. Then check how he decides to go on Disruptor instead. He checks his inventory, sees that he doesn't have boots, and check how Disruptor expected Tide to dive Alchemist, but instead he goes on the Lizard Man. With the kill and the mango, he gets mana and level for Gush and also snipes Alchemist. Like I said about Lanaya's trap in the last video, Anchor Smash radius is pretty underestimated by most players. Here Tide contests Alchemist again and suddenly OD shows up. And check how he runs back instead of towards the fog to guarantee Ogre has range to stun. Then he makes sure to land Anchor Smash on both OD and Tide. And Ogre. Kinda like Enigma, people think of Tidehunter as this big initiator watermelon that basically only uses Ravage. In the 2 replays I analyzed in this video, and the extra one I analyzed for Pugna, they all buy mech or pipe or any item that is not blink first. Not only makes pushes after winning teamfights with Ravage easier, but they also make you way tankier, allowing you to survive teamfights. Also, the way his passive works just claims for him to be a mech carrier. And here, he heals Ursa with mech while at the same time securing the tier 1 mid. I'm not saying you should go for mech first every game, but when you have a pushing team and you only need to frontline, or when you have other initiators on your team, you can go mech and still be relevant, like in this clip. With Ursa initiating, he can just walk, uses Ravage to secure the kill, and again we see how big Anchor Smash range is. Easy kill. Here, SUMAIL TPs to help his teammates, and ends up blinking inside the smoke screen. Obviously, after seeing Tidehunter, Radiant will not clump around and he doesn't panic and Ravage, they just get the Riki kill. We will talk more about selecting the right time to Ravage soon. In this footage, they are pushing the bottom lane high ground, and SUMAIL notices Sand King is split pushing the top lane. So if he's able to spot 3, maybe even 2 heroes together, it can be a good idea to initiate right away, since the time for Sand King to TP, channel Epicenter and blink Burrow Strike is not that fast. So check how he really goes far back to not get damage from the Radiance illusions. And as he turns back, he sees OD and Alchemist close to each other, and Sand King is still top. And that's a pretty good timing to jump. Check how much time it takes for Sand King to show up, almost after Chronosphere is over, and now with OD dead and without buyback, it's too late. Dire is forced to retreat, but the trade was definitely on their favor. During this push, Radiant is very aware of Tide's initiation. First they glimpse him back, and then Alchemist places a very good acid spray around the barracks region, so there's no other way besides walking in and using Ravage. He ends up getting stuck in the chrono and just ults. Playing Tide in the mid to late game is always about timing your Ravages and always using your mech/Greaves/pipe to help your allies. With the cooldown reduction, you can use Greaves more liberally, and it's always a good idea to use it, especially if you're going to heal a core in danger. Another problem low-level Tidehunters usually fall is overlapping Ravage. In this clip, Radiant kills Dire Courier and Void uses Chronosphere. The correct play here was ravaging after the Chrono and only if there's real chance the heroes ran away. And right after when they push mid, he has Ravage ready, and check how he plays it. Sand King and Riki are dead. People get pretty afraid to use Ravage sometimes, especially in the late game, because they feel like they need to use the skill on a lot of heroes. Instead, he reads the situation perfectly. Even if Sand King buys back, they have too much burst damage. The reaction from Radiant won't be fast enough. Tide is able to run away, and check how he plays here after Ravage and with Greaves on cooldown. He only provides Gush, and instead of blinking in and just dying for no reason, he stays around, OD is forced to buy back, they kill Alchemist, and when Greaves is ready he gets closer again, and in the end they lose Ursa, but force 3 buybacks and every ultimate from Radiant. A big part of playing Tidehunter against melee cores is using Anchor Smash to dissuade him from going on you, as well as missing last hits. Getting last hits with the skill is something you can do, but usually if you focus on landing the skill on him, not only he will miss last hits, but he won't be able to deny creeps easily against you, and you will get last hits anyway. In this clip, Sonneiko uses Anchor Smash as soon as he notices Void going on him, instead of focusing on last hitting. Check what happens. Void is forced to back, and thanks to a great Earth Spirit rotation, he gets the kill. Usually Tidehunter is not the best hero for rotations before level 6, but Gush has a decent range and slow to help dives against your team. Usually players get Gush when their lanes are not that hard, since to go Ancients and jungle you usually want more levels of Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash. By having good map awareness, he walks mid, and again with the help of Earth Spirit they secure another kill. He wants to kill Lion, but Lion is playing pretty well. When the stun ends, check how the first thing he does is Anchor Smash in Void. He wants to buy time and actually hit the Ravage on Lion. Now Void hits close to nothing after it. That allows him to shift the focus and make Lion believe he turned on Void, when in reality he was baiting him in for a Ravage, and since Invoker was paying attention, easy kill and no way for Void to turn this with a Chronosphere. To make it less suspicious that his team was away from the map rushing, Sonneiko goes to defend mid, and check how he plays this. Before Greaves, you shouldn't just waste your mech because of the long cooldown. Earth Spirit is not that low and no one else needs the heal. They quickly kill Lion and he goes top to defend. This clip shows one of the main differences between low MMR Tidehunters and high MMR ones. People love using Blink whatever is on cooldown, especially if they need to reach a teamfight quicker. But is it always optimal? As Sonneiko approaches the reviving Draw Ranger, does he ever use his Blink Dagger? Yeah, maybe he could land Ravage 1 second earlier, but do you think if he showed up walking he would land that good of a Ravage? Sometimes saving the blink and not panicking to reach the teamfight faster is better. It's better than reaching your allies 1 second earlier. In this footage, Sonneiko smokes with his team and we see some pretty bold reactions from him. He blinks forward with Gem, and while he chases Night Stalker, we can see why Tide is such a good mech and gem carrier. It's pretty hard to lock him down, which means that he can play that boldly if he has his team backing him up. And also, this is usually why you only go blink after mech or other items. It means you can play like that and survive the fights to reap the benefits. During this push, check how Tide works not only as an initiator, but as a tanky frontliner to allow Draw Ranger to safely siege. Instead of blinking in and trying to fight like a lot of players will do, he just stays there. He only needs to use Ravage if they contest him, and if they don't contest him, they will get barracks for free. When Shadow Demon finally decides to disrupt him, he jukes SD and uses Ravage. Even though it only gets the Shadow Demon, he zoned every other hero, and Night Stalker is dead, so there's really no respawn besides Shadow Demon buyback. With a very well placed False Promise, they retreat a bit and check his clicking patterns, running outside of the Chronosphere path. Not only that, but he lingers around it and uses Anchor Smash on Void to make it harder for him to get kills. When they decide to leave, check how the Anchor Smash saves Earth Spirit. And with such a tanky hero, even after buybacks, Radiant can't stop Sonneiko's team aggression since when they clump up on draw, he can use Anchor Smash on them and they don't have enough damage. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I can't overstate how this video wouldn't ever be possible without the huge help from the Pugna guys, so please show them some love. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to it. I'm making videos like this almost every day, and I'm sure something here will spark your interest. Bye. Instead of struggling to get his bottle, he buys boots. Storm already has worse move speed than TA, so buying boots before bottle and getting 1 point in meld at level 4 is what, with the Ogre, helps him get first blood on Storm. If he was playing safe and going for bottle then boots, there's the chance that he would be fine, just a little bit behind. Instead, he abuses the fact that he got outlaned in the beginning to play in a way Storm isn't able to deal with. Had he gotten the first blood kill, he would have both bottle and boots, but even though he got an assist, it's completely fine.